So at Ship2B, we work with startups. So I would like to start with a less than 1 minute pitch. Let's try to introduce a little bit more yourself, and then we will go with the questions. So Françoise, it's your turn.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Beatriz. I'm Françoise. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pack2Earth. We're an impact company. We try to do good things for the environment, and we're focused on R&D on sustainable packaging. And specifically, we've developed home compostable packaging. That means packaging that you can either literally compost at home, or you can throw away with your banana peel and potato peel and other food waste. And with our materials, it's the first time that you can package from dry to semi-liquid food products in home compostable packaging. And because we have two different materials, so a flexible one and a rigid one, you can make all kinds of different packaging types. You can make everything from little sachets to pouches with rigid tops, or tubs for yogurts, all kinds of different things. And of course, it is food grade, but it's not just for food. You can also use the materials for all kinds of other things, cosmetics, pet food, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, so we're delighted to be here today, and we'll be telling you a little bit later about some of the open innovation projects we have on the go. So thank you.
Thank you. So your turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Isabel. That's not such a global name, so everybody call me Belly in another of countries. I'm from Hotmar. We are a technology company that helps people to live off their passions through digital products. So we are a platform that helps to creators content, or anyone that wants to monetize their knowledge, to do that, selling, promoting, and distributing in the platform. So I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, perfect. So now Pablo, and then Jordi.
Pablo Valerón, and I represent here our recent Cofares Innovation Hub. Cofares is the leading medicine distribution company and services, health services in pharmacies. It's a cooperative, it's 100% capital of pharmacists, and it's created to promote these health services, elite health services across all Spain. Pharmacy is now, since the COVID pandemic, is playing a more important role in the innovation, in the ecosystem, the healthcare ecosystem, because it's guarantee the universal access to medicines, but also because all the people living in insulated areas of Spain, the España vaciada, the pharmacy is the closest and first point in the medical field. And for that reason, it's important this pharmacy in the net of pharmacy, because we have in Spain 22,000 pharmacies, but more than 2,000 pharmacies are in these rural areas. And this is one of our pillars of innovation in Cofares, is to unite this pharmacy to innovation to promote this development of healthcare services to prediction, to detection, and to monitoring the health, and to improve the quality of the life of people.
Perfect, Pablo. So you have already answer one of my questions, but we will talk later on. And finally, Jordi, please.
Hi, my name is Jordi. I'm leading the open innovation strategy for DAM. I worked for this company only for 2.5 years with a pandemic in the middle. And I come from the startup arena. So I'm just doing the reverse way, because normally it's the other way around. They go from the corporate environment to the startup arena. Yeah, probably you know Estrella, you know DAM, because of obviously the flagship product, Estrella DAM, but the company is much larger than that. And I didn't even know myself when I started the company, but you know, we basically comprehend not only food and beverage, but also you know, logistics, distribution, food services, sports, and a foundation called Fundación DAM. So it's pretty large holding. And basically my main role, my main task is to apply open innovation across all the supply chain, and we have a very long supply chain, actually. We have even our own farmers on our own land, and it goes through also the beverage production, distribution, logistics, clients, and obviously the hospitality sector, and also consumers that they actually use that drink the beer. So basically, my main objective is to apply the open innovation across all these different stages.
Okay, so let's talk more about the topic, which is leading impact through innovation. What is impact? I think we will know what is impact through the answers. I'm not going to disclose what is impact. But first of all, I would like to know which kind of activities are you doing in your corporates, in the startups, linked to innovation, linked to open innovation, because I think all of you, you have impact in your open innovation activities. Mm-hmm. If you can explain a little bit more what is your strategy, which activities you are involved regarding innovation, and then we will link if they are linked to innovation, and if these innovation activities, are really leading impact in social and environmental arenas. So if you want to start, Jordi, the other way around.
Cool. Just regarding impact innovation, basically, 3 years ago when I joined the company, I built a very ambitious entrepreneurship program that one of the main pillars was sustainability. Actually, was one of the challenges that we proposed to the company, to the employees. And actually, the winner team was tackling down the issue about sustainability. Unfortunately, I cannot unveil the nature of the service because it's confidential. We're going to unveil it in the coming weeks. I'm sorry, I cannot say that today. But it's related to sustainability and festivals, music, etc. Okay, but apart from that, I'm talking also about impact innovation. We have started this year, along with Ship2Be, Festival Cruïlla, Barcelona Music Lab, one call for startups called Sustainability Festival Challenge. Then basically where we are searching for a 100% sustainable festival, music festival. And this is the first of its kind across the world. When I conducted a benchmark regarding this Sustainable Festival Challenge, I didn't find another solution such as this one, another initiative. And we are searching, we are discovering solutions that we never thought of before. And I think, for example, here there's an example that she will tell you further later on. But this is something that we're really very proud of. And just to finish with, we're also doing a lot of scouting, a lot of venture client with different startups, and also strategic partnerships. And we invest in a few companies over the last 2 years. So that's basically what we're doing.
Thank you. And Pablo, in your case, your innovation is a little bit different, so you can explain.
We work based in our vision to drive employees to think in different ways, and based in our mission too is to position Cofares as a reference in healthcare products and services in the healthcare ecosystem. We work in open innovation activities strategy in 2 different ways. Firstly, we create these strategic alliances with all the ecosystem to create this kind of project, to create the space we can use to generate this kind of projects with hospitals, laboratories, pharmaceutical laboratories, startups, of course, accelerators like Ship2Be, because we want to create this space to generate this innovation that will create our impact in Cofares, to transform Cofares. No? Projects like intelligent artificial to create this new route logistics, to improve the route logistics, or even process automation, or how to generate new process in our industrial wholesalers or warehouses, and even something too easy, how can validate our electric fleet if we can use it in a sustainable thing like our distribution in pharmacy. And in the field of health, we work very close to some startups that are creating or are developing medical devices, apps, or platforms to adapt all these solutions to the pharmacy, because if we connect with the first part that we said, that we try to unite Cofares or the pharmacy with innovation, we try to develop all these solutions in the pharmacy to create this impact, the real and the direct impact to the society, and to improve the quality of life. And even some invest in some projects, like, for example, the last invest that we closed is in a non-invasive devices, medical devices to control diabetes, and we invite this to create these new services.
That's great, Pablo and Jordi. And to understand also the open innovation activities that you have talked a little bit, I would like Françoise to talk a little bit more about what is your role as a startup working with these companies. You are an impact startup. Your mission is to have an impact to the environment, to have less plastics, less one-use materials. So what are your activities with corporations?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess the first thing I'd say is, we are a startup, so we have a relatively small team at the moment. We're growing very fast, but I'm almost slightly nervous about coming to events like these now, because every event we go to generates new collaboration and pilot agreements with more companies, and we've got more pilots than we have hands. But it's actually a beautiful thing, because we've created these great bio-based materials. But if we don't have clients who are going to use them and who are going to put them on their products and generate a volume of use of those bio-based materials, then we won't be able to achieve our impact objective of reducing the amount of contaminating plastic that's being used and that's contaminating the environment. So even though it's a little bit scary as a startup, it's actually a very beautiful thing, and hopefully have a great impact for the planet. And actually what we've decided to do is, because we know that the pilots with the very large corporations, and we are working with some very large corporations, one which I'm not allowed to mention the name of, but everyone in this room will have several products made by that company for sure in their kitchen cupboard. Another is Unilever. There are a lot of big names we're working with. We know that those pilots are typically quite slow, because they have to go through a big, long decision-making process. So in order to make sure that we're able to meet our own goals as a startup as well, in a reasonable period of time, we're also working with SMEs to do smaller scale startups, so that we can prove or show quick wins as we move along. But actually, one of the collaborations we're really excited about is working with the Cruïlla Festival, as Jordi mentioned, and with DAM. We found out today that we've been invited to showcase our materials at the Cruïlla Festival. We're very excited about that. And yeah, it's all about working with corporates to make sure that our innovations are used.
That's wonderful, Françoise. Thanks. And finally, Isabel, your impact and your innovation is a little bit different. If you can explain a little bit.
Yes, sure. Okay, I think we have more impact in a social way. First of all, I think our market is already an innovation, because it's not that usual. You think like 10 years ago, who was like selling their knowledge through the internet? Was not that common. So I think our market itself, it is an innovation, because we are helping people to monetize their knowledge. You have, like 10 years ago, maybe a musician professor, okay, but online, it's not that usual. And now we are we are helping people that they can go online. We passed this pandemic and we changed a lot our way to make business and our way to survive in an economics way. So what we saw these last years was that we received a lot of people coming from the offline market, like they are used to sell their knowledge, but not in a digital way. So we received all that kind of person. Of course, we grew a lot in these last years, what's not a good thing because we all suffer a lot also with the pandemic. But what we saw as impact is our market is an innovation that can help people to survive, not only being impersonal. You can also selling your things and reach a lot more people in an online way. So we think we help a lot in these past years with this kind of thing, and also today we are living like a boom of creators economy that we call. So everybody that is creating content that doesn't know how to make a life of it, you know, they are doing great content and helping people, but they don't have a product. So we are helping them to create their products, and also they can live with their passions and they can survive, like not needing to go impersonal.
Thanks. So I think all of you, when you talk about your innovation activities, you imply impact. So what is impact? Impact for Ship2B is something when you have impact as a corporation, as a startup, is because you are changing something. It's because with your activity, you are benefit either the environment or social people. So if you have impact, means that if you stop your activity, the world will be worse, is what we start talking with companies. And it's not only compliance and doing things in a good way, is to impact to the society and to the environment. So I would like to know your opinion about how innovation can help to have more impact. So how do you think the innovation can really tackle all the challenges that we have regarding sustainability, but also regarding health, unemployment, etc. So anyone, what do you think about that, your opinions? Jordi, for example?
Okay, for me, I think doing open innovation in a company such as DAM to tackle down these issues is probably the most efficient way to do it. Why? Because at some point, we are a very large company. We are doing a very massive leap forward into being more agile, but we still, obviously have this rigid structure. It's normal. A lot of companies, such as that, happens this. So, and coming up with new ideas, with new solutions, sometimes it's very difficult. So we need some external stimulations that help us to identify, to select, and to apply innovation across different areas. For example, this case of impact issues. For me, this is the largest advantage of working with the startups, that they providing us these out-of-the-box ideas that sometimes it's very difficult for us to come up with it. And it's super stimulating because we are learning. We are learning how to proceed. We're learning agile methodologies. We're learning how to speak this innovative language. And on top of it, we're also applying this innovation in our company. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win model.
Yeah, and also I think in startups now, I want Frances to talk a little bit. I think the startups that have the impact itself, like sustainable impact in your case, big corporations can learn a lot about what is impact and how to tackle this sustainability and these challenges that they have. Can you explain, what do you think about that?
Sure. So I think plastic is a great example of how innovation on its own is not enough. You have to start out with the idea of doing something good for society or the planet, or having a good impact right at the beginning of your project, because otherwise you might invent something like plastic, right? My mother remembers the world before plastic was commonplace in the 1950s, and she also remembers how excited people were about plastic because it was innovative and it had all these great practical uses. And now the weight of plastic in the planet is more than twice the weight of all the animals on the planet. It's gone crazy. So I think it's very important that when you start out with your innovation project, that you really start out to do something good right from day one. And that's what we've tried to do. And I also think it's important not to just make an incremental change. So recycling plastic isn't the solution, because you're not getting rid of the microplastics, you're not getting rid of the impact on human health, fertility problems, damage to other animals on the planet. You have to look way ahead and try to find something that's going to leapfrog several steps and try to really do something that's not just incremental, but truly innovative and with an impactful purpose. And that's what we've tried to do, and that's what I think all the people who are here on stage right now are trying to do.
Yes, that's right. And in your case, Pablo, Isabella, I think your activities in innovation have an impact in other arenas, also sustainability, but in your case, Pablo, is more focused on health and healthcare and... Right?
Maybe both, because we are talking about our improving in logistic routes, and it's because we are more sustainable with our carbon emission. But of course, technology for us is changing everything, every aspect in our life, and is one of the reasons that we created our Cofares Innovation Hub is to make this technology, this innovation more accessible to the society. Because when people talk about innovation or hear news about technology, it sounds like it's so far away because it has no real impact in his daily life. And for that reason, we can work closely with all the ecosystem to create this kind of project that we can unite with the pharmacy, because every day in the pharmacy enter 2.3 million patients, and it's important how can we help them to improve his quality of life. And even because we think that if we work together in impact, we will create the best solution to these necessities, to these expectations of the society. And for us, it's very important to create this healthcare innovation, these disruptive projects, and unit and close to the pharmacy, because it's our point. A health point directly to the citizens.
Perfect. Sounds great. And Isabella, if you want to add anything?
Yes, just adding, I think for us, think outside the box and help people to see that they can think outside the box also is our challenge. Because just sharing, we have like an example. We have a guy that teaches people how to fix their washing machine. Have you ever imagined someone going, like someone in their 50s, going online to help people, to teach people how to fix washing machine? And you're going to think, that doesn't work. It works. He sells a lot all over the world, and he used to have a really bad kind of life. He was like in such terrible moment of his life, and he transformed his life doing that. So I think the innovation for us is just not about the company, but also helping people to see they can think outside the box also. So that's our challenge.
Perfect. I think impact is really linked to innovation. At least at Shift2B is what we do. We only have 2 minutes left, more or less. So if you want to conclude, to say something else regarding this leading innovation through impact, is your turn. If not, I would like to thank South Summit to have this panel about impact, because I think it's something that all of us need to work on. We have examples here. Their innovation strategies imply impact, and it's something that must be done now or never. So that's my opinion, my conclusion, and if you want to conclude, it's your moment.
No, I would just to finish with, I want to say quickly that we are not only at DAM communicating sustainability through our adverts and publicity, etc., but also we are taking that very seriously. We just built a sustainability committee recently. It's becoming really, really strategic in our open innovation strategy. It's something that we really put the focus on in the coming years for sure.
Perfect. I love to hear that.
We think that innovation is a key feature for a more sustainable future. And of course, the COFARES commitment is how can we create this kind of projects, innovation and disruptive projects to create or to generate a real impact and direct impact to the society through the pharmacy, because in the pharmacy we have a professional, a health professional, and if we support this health advice and personal attendance to the pharmacist, supported with innovation projects, with innovation services, we will create a better or improve the quality of life of the patients in the pharmacy.
We are running out of time, but just like to say thanks, and also that if someone is curious, you can go to hotmart.com. We have a lot of histories and a lot of people that it's interesting to know their challenge and their innovation, so you can find us there.
That's great. And just to finalize, to say, I think everyone in this room can help a company that has an impact purpose to do good stuff for the planet. So find a company that you believe in and invest in it. Talk about it on social media. Do anything you can to help that company, and all together we can make a positive impact for the planet.